Hey everyone, welcome to this Live Rad video, and today I want to talk to you about a change of scenery. And I'm not just talking about, moving to a different place or going on vacation. I'm talking about a change of scenery in your everyday life and how that can really be something that can, spark some excitement and inspiration, or just a way to change your life that isn't a huge big change. And so a change of scenery is what I want to talk with you about today. And I have kind of an example that I'm going to share just in a change that I made that was small and something that was easy to do but created a big change in my life. So change of scenery. Again, not talking about actually needing to uproot your life and move somewhere else, or I'm not just talking about taking a vacation, but I'm talking about doing things in your life differently. And how we want change in our life, right? We want something to change, but we just continue to do the same things every day. The same routines, the same morning routine, the same drive to work, the same routine when you get to work, the same routine for your lunch break, your drive home. You get the gist of what I'm saying here. That's the scenery that I'm wanting you to change, is the everyday pieces that you're doing the same every single day. Because if we continue to do things the same way, we're going to keep getting the same results, right? And so in order to kind of spark some change, to spark some, it's almost just kind of like creating this little light, this little excitement flame or spark. And we need to kind of change things up. And so it doesn't have to be a huge shift or change in your actual scenery, but it can just be little tweaks that you can make that are easy to do in your everyday life. And they can have a profound effect in how you're feeling and how you're connecting with your life. And so to give you an example, for me, and this is probably going to seem like a really insignificant change of scenery, but I'm using this example because it shows how something that seems so insignificant can actually be the spark that you need, So for me, I'm going to talk to you about an example where my morning routine was I would get up and I would get my coffee. So that's always the first thing I do. I need my coffee to start my morning right. Get up, get my coffee, and I would go and sit in my favorite rocking chair. That seems pretty nothing wrong with that, right? Pretty, normal, nothing wrong. And there wasn't anything wrong, but that rocking chair for me was like sucking me in to this totally comfortable place where I would have my coffee, sit in my rocking chair, watch the news, and then start my day. Take a shower, get my lunch ready, get to work. And so I was really just craving something different in my life, but I was at a place where I just really didn't know what that was. But, I was stuck in my pattern in my life. I was doing the same things all the time. And what I did to create a change of scenery was something so small. Instead of getting up and getting my coffee and getting sucked into my comfy rocking chair and watching the news, I stopped sitting in my chair. And what I did was I got my coffee and I sat at the kitchen table. I opened up my laptop and I started searching for different podcasts that I could start listening to. And those podcasts, and the reason why I was searching for those is because I wanted to just start hearing other voices in my life, hearing of things that maybe I had never even thought of, people's experiences, different, hobbies that they had, adventures that they were going on. I was trying to just get outside of my everyday life and hear what other people that maybe I would never come in contact with, what they had to say. And so I sat with my coffee at my kitchen table and I started to look for different podcasts, look for different articles, and explore other things. And from there, that is where I started to find different life coaches and started to really understand what life coaching was. And at first, that wasn't, the path that I started towards, utilizing this exploration and this change of scenery. I started exploring different things. I started making my own handmade soap. So I started, exploring different hobbies. I started thinking about a career change. So I actually ran into, a career change coach. You may have heard of her, Laura Sims. She's over at withlaurasims.com, and she runs a program called Your Career Homecoming. And so I jumped at the chance to, I was thinking like maybe I need a career change. So I went through that program, and through that program is how I discovered that I wanted to be a life coach. And so that started me on the path towards, what training am I going to do? And then from there, I met all these new people and I started on this new career path. And so I'm telling you this story because all of that came and was sparked from me deciding to make one small change of scenery. Instead of sitting in my rocking chair with my coffee in the morning, I sat at my kitchen table and pulled out my laptop and explored different podcasts. So that was the change that I made. Instead of doing my same routine, sitting in my rocking chair, I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop. And that opened up new pathways. And one thing led to another thing that led to another thing. So that's what I want to inspire you to do today. What are different little changes of scenery that you can do in your life that can help you on your path to live red, to live that engaged, connected, passionate life? It could be something as simple as changing up your morning routine. Maybe it's, going to the gym and not doing a workout in your house. So you're meeting different people, you're getting out there that way. Maybe it's, getting your coffee on the way to work at a different coffee shop. And maybe, exploring and meeting, people there. Maybe it's not necessarily meeting new people, but maybe it's going into a different neighborhood and you're discovering something, that you want to try there. Maybe they have a place where you can do stained glass art and you want to try something like that, but you never would have seen that was offered unless you went to that new neighborhood for your coffee. Maybe it's doing something in your morning where instead of just jumping right into your routine, maybe you get up 20 minutes earlier. And that 20 minutes is something that you utilize to meditate or journal or just sit in the bathroom in the quiet and kind of just have that moment for you to start your day in a peaceful way. Maybe it's changing up your lunchtime routine. Maybe you work through your lunch and you sit at your desk and you don't leave. Well, maybe your change of scenery is going for a walk. Maybe it's going for a walk by yourself and listening to a podcast that you download on your phone. Or maybe it's going with a coworker and building a relationship with somebody rather than sitting at your desk. These little tweaks that you can do throughout your day that don't involve big changes, right? These are things that you can just do in your normal everyday routine, but you're changing things up. You're inviting new people, new opportunities, seeing new things, building new relationships. You're just inviting new opportunities to present themselves when you change your scenery. So it's not necessarily that you have to do something like totally out of the norm. It's just these little tweaks that you never know what the opportunity is going to lead to. You might meet somebody new that becomes a really good friend that introduces you to this, new hobby that ends up being something you are super in love with, that really fills you up and lights you up, that you never would have found if you didn't meet that person. Or maybe it's, discovering a new job opportunity or a new career path. Or maybe it's, finally finding that fitness routine that really feels good for you, that you don't mind doing every day. And that gives you this newfound energy in your life that you then utilize to, play with your kids more, or, be more active in the community because you're not so tired when you get home from work. Whatever it is. And these are all examples of things that could happen. You don't know what else is out there or what other possibilities or opportunities are going to come into your life. If you just keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So this is an easy tweak that you could do in your everyday life that could lead to different changes happening. And it's not overwhelming. It could just be as simple as changing that morning routine, changing that lunchtime routine, changing your nighttime routine. But change the scenery. Just something little that you can do that could spark some type of change, inspiration, fulfillment in your life. And so that is what I wanted to share with you today in this Live Red video, is just really giving you the opportunity to think about, like, if you do the same things, you're going to get the same results. And I know that your life is busy and that it's not always easy to make a big change, right? We have our families and our lives and things that we're responsible for. So what small tweak can you make and change your scenery in your everyday life that you can start? If it's not tomorrow, maybe you make the goal of next week. Try something different. Try a little tweak and change your scenery and see what comes out of it. You never know. But like my example, just that little tweak led to one thing, that led to the other, that led to the other. And you don't know where it's going to go, but you want to change, right? You got to start somewhere. So this is a little tweak that you can try. So thanks for listening to this Live Red video today. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking with you in my next Live Red video. So until then.